So good morning and welcome to Community Conversations. I'm Miss Ebony J, the host that does the most, and you are watching and listening to Community Conversations, the show where we come on to talk about all the great stuff happening in our community and how nonprofit organizations are making a difference. This is Soul 101.5, 1230, the Buzz, your talk station, 101.1 The Wiz, and of course my station, 100.3 Cincy's R&B station. Of course, I'm excited. Y'all know I love Community Conversations, but even more so blessed to have in here with me Miss Michelle Henderson. How you doing, beautiful? I love it when you just come and show up. You always so bright and glowing, you know. Now, I know you got the Know Your Worth conference coming up, and last year's conference was off the chain, totally a blessing. I wanted to bring you in to talk about it because I feel like my listeners can really, really benefit from the conference. So talk about first, what's the purpose of knowing your worth?
The purpose of knowing your worth is to empower other people to know their worth. The purpose of being on earth, just knowing who you are in this world, who you are in the kingdom.
Right.
Just knowing that woman that you have power also.
Sometimes we don't think we're powerful or we're not. Sometimes we feel powerless. What would you say to a woman who's listening right now who doesn't really know her worth?
The woman that don't know her worth, which was me, one point in time, I would say find the root issue of why you don't know your worth. And that was my problem. I went years not knowing the root. I would always deal with the surface and the branches of the tree, but I never dug deep down in the roots to find out what seed was planted for me not to know my value and my worth. So once I did that, because I felt worthless because of the accident and the situation that I was in, and I found that root, I was able to dig that root up out of the ground, and I was able to destroy it and find my true value and my true worth.
Is that how you found your worth?
How I found my worth was because I'm a very transparent person. I was committing adultery. I was cheating on my husband about 6 years ago, and I had a tragic accident at a skating ring in Dayton, Ohio. Yeah, I was going back, and I was sleeping around with another man. Hey, check this. And I was the pastor's wife.
Oh, my. Are you serious?
Dead serious. We've been here in Cincinnati for 8 years. This happened 6 years ago, so I was a pastor's wife for 2 years. And I was cheating on my husband. Yep. We always hear about the men so-called pastors cheating on their wives, but what about the wives that cheat on their husbands?
Oh, my goodness. Them, right? No, we don't. I'm like, hold on. Why? Yeah. Pastors' wives be cheating?
Oh, it get real. You know why? Because we're human beings. It has nothing to do with the title. It has to do with who you are and what's wrong with us. And we don't try to find out what's really, really wrong with us. We just keep doing wrong.
Right.
But nah, I had to find out what was wrong with me. And the way I found out, God allowed me to knock me on my face. He literally, when I say I skate. I love skating. It's my hobby. It's like roll bounce. Okay. I was grooving on my skates. I had lied to my husband, went to Dayton, went to a marathon, we call them in Dayton, and went because I wanted to see this guy. And I ended up there and was skating for about 30, 45 minutes, fell flat on my face. Nobody was in my way. Nobody pushed me. I know I got knocked on my face.
You said God did that.
I know for a fact. And when I fell, I didn't even know I fell. I didn't brace myself or anything. But when I ended up on the skating ring floor, my hand was under my face. And when I lifted up, blood just started gushing, and my 2 front teeth was in my hand. My bottom lip was hanging off.
What?
Yeah, it was that real. It got that real. I could have lost my life, but instead of God allowing me to lose my life, I lost my teeth. And I lost some beauty. But in that dirty situation, I found who I was. And I found out what was wrong with me. But I ended up going to the hospital, leaving the skating ring, got 19 stitches in and out, went through surgeries for my mouth. I wear a mouthpiece in my mouth. I'm not ashamed of it anymore. I used to be, but I'm not. I'm embracing my scars.
Yeah.
These are scars. These are scars of a survivor.
Yes, and they made you you.
They made me me. They made me the woman of worth of who I am today. And that's what birthed me knowing my worth. So for 6 months, I sat in depression. I wanted to commit suicide. My family was broken because there was a broken mother and wife that was in the midst. And in that 6 months, God began to heal me and began to speak to me and tell me, you don't know your worth. And I kept saying, what is this worth thing?
Right. What do you want me to know?
My worth, he wanted me to know my purpose. Why did I put you on this earth?
Oh, so your worth is connected to your purpose. Hold up. Go there.
Yes, ma'am. Your worth is definitely connected to your purpose. and why you're here on this earth. And so once I dug deep and found out, it went way back. The cheating didn't start 6 years ago. It went way back to when I was 6, and I had to deal with my root issue, which was abandonment and rejection. And that came from my parents splitting because I was born with this silver spoon in my mouth. And at the age of 6, my parents split and divorced. Well, they separated. And my sisters, we were everywhere. And I was this 6-year-old little girl that grew up to this woman that dealt with rejection and abandonment issues. So if I thought you was rejecting me or abandoning me, I would do something negative.
Almost a
That's
retaliation.
what it was. And so I dealt with that. I went back, found the root. Once I found the root, I went to counseling. I went to natural counseling. I didn't go to counseling at church. I went to natural counseling, got me some help, and began to deal with myself. It was painful, but I had to do it. And in that, birthed the Know Your Worth organization.
Wow. Only God can do that. You hear me?
Only.
You said it was nobody behind me, in front of me, beside me. I fell flat. And then I had to explain it. I had to deal with that. And I had to grow from it, which again gave me my purpose. And that's how I know who I am. And oh my goodness, Lord. Only He can, right? So I know that the Know Your Worth conference is coming up. This is Community Conversations on Soul 101.5, 1230 The Buzz. If you just tuning in, 101.1 New is 100.3. I'm here talking with the queen herself, Miss Michelle Henderson, who is talking to us about the Know Your Worth conference as well as the Know Your Worth organization. So she's building it up, right? And we have the conference. It's coming up.
Yes. The conference is November the 8th, 9th, and 10th. The 8th is at the Blue Ash. In Blue Ash at the Blue Hotel.
Okay.
Friday night is a meet and greet from 7 to 9. All my queens, women, come. Just come, network. We're going to have raffles. We're going to have a good time. And then Saturday is the Know Your Worth brunch and empowerment session. And we have a woman named Shanika Pope coming.
Okay.
She is powerful.
Yes.
She's coming to do the empowerment session. And that starts at 10:30
Okay.
to 2:30.
Okay.
And then we'll have Saturday night. We'll have Saturday evening at 7 at Agape Love Ministries in Roseline, 7891 Reading Road.
Yes.
That'll be the service. It'll be Tori Hall, and she's going to be talking about identity crisis for all you women. And then on Sunday morning at 10 a.m., truly myself, I'll be giving a word, and the message will be, the woman I used to be is dead.
Yeah, she gone.
She gone.
She gone.
6 feet under. And ain't no bringing her back.
You sure she can't come back just for a little while?
Hey, she can't come back.
You know, I was listening to this service this morning, and he was talking about, you know, how God can bring you to be this new person and how He will transform you. And you'll know He's there because He gives us this Holy Spirit that comes and saves us. And the way we used to respond to things, we don't respond that way no more because we have grown to this new person. And so for you to say that, it's like, oh, yeah, she's dead.
Yes, ma'am. She has to die.
She has to die in order for me to live the way He wants me to live.
That's good.
But you know what? Sometimes it can be so uncomfortable. Like, I don't have the same friends. They don't understand what I'm going through. They don't party like me. They party is this way. My party is this way. It's hard to let that old one die. But when you know your worth,
Yes.
then you know the importance of it.
Yes. Yes, ma'am. I had to die to live.
Oh, yes, we do, don't we? How do we join or can we be a part of the Know Your Worth organization?
Yes, you can contact us at knowyourworth1977@gmail.com. knowyourworth1977@gmail.com. You can connect with us. We have one-on-one classes.
Oh, really?
We do. We have classes at Agape Love Ministries. I have one-on-one classes teaching women how to find their value and their purpose and their worth.
When do you have classes?
We have classes. I have sessions. So I have classes of 10 women, and I start them on every quarter, and I start them on a Monday. So once we get the 10 women, then we send an email out letting you know when the classes start. So I do 8 classes of 10 women because I like it to be intimate.
Oh, yeah.
So I keep it at 10 women at a time. And on those Mondays, we start. So we just ended a class, our second class. The women graduated.
Okay.
And in the class, they found out their true purpose. And we dig deep. And we started on Mondays. from 6 to 7. I start at 6, I end at 7.
Power hour.
Power hour.
I love it.
Okay? And so we do that. We do mentoring. I have mentoring sessions. I have been contracted in schools where I do mentoring with young ladies.
Yes.
Our babies, because we got to reach them.
We got to start them young.
Okay? So I do those. I do motivational speaking. So I go out to different venues, churches, what have you, and I go out and do motivational speaking.
Yes, sharing that story.
Yes,
I mean,
ma'am.
you have one. We all do. But the more and more that you share, do you find that you're able to heal better, or do you feel healed?
You know what? I find out that there's something else that I need to be healed from every time I share it. Seems like something. I just found out recently that another thing I had to be healed from was frustration. And that might be small to some people, but frustration can take you to a whole nother level.
Yes.
And I had to deal with frustration. I may have dealt with the adultery. You know what I mean? They say that's big, but frustration is just as big.
It's big. What? Yes.
So I had to. So when I share my story, I know that I'm healed because now I know when I share it, I'm not crying as much. I don't feel broken in the inside anymore.
Yeah.
I can feel the healing. So sharing it now is a joy. It used to feel like an embarrassment, but now it's a joy because it's helping other women heal.
Yeah. I think that's good. I know the person that I just had on earlier, Miss Shannon, we were talking and we were talking about her organization, Yana. And Yana it stands for You Are Not Alone. And she talks about the Facebook group and how it's a group where you can go in there and talk about how you're feeling, what you're going through. But what she's noticed is that healing is a process. But our question was, is it a process that ends or is it a process that continues? And I think you just answered it, is that once you heal from one thing, you learn that there's more healing that you have to do. And there's really different layers
It's true.
to it.
It's true. Yes, ma'am. You're right on it.
So if you want to be a part, make sure you come and check out this Know Your Worth conference. Now, I got to ask you this because you are First Lady,
Yes, ma'am.
a wife, a mother, you work, and then you know your purpose, so it's then some more work to do. How do you find that balance?
You know what? I was thinking about that. This is ironic because somebody just asked me this question about finding balance.
Like, I feel all over the place. Like, girl, how do you do this?
It's not even balance anymore. It's prioritizing. Putting things in its rightful place. And being a mom of grown children and now a grandma,
Right.
right? And one on the way, putting things in their rightful place. Number one, God is definitely first.
Mm-hmm.
After God is not Know Your Worth. It's not the church. It's my husband.
Wow.
So it's not my kids. It's my husband.
Wow. Okay.
So we put things in the wrong places, and then that's why the balance thing come up. But if we prioritize and definitely do it according to God's way, because I work a job, I have grandbabies, I have my children, and I have a little 7-year-old. I have a whole church,
Right.
right? I have an organization, but I prioritize all of those things. What's the most important?
Of course, God.
And it has to be my husband, my king, second.
Over the kids?
Over the kids.
Yes.
Okay? And then it's my kids.
And then it's my
family.
kids, yes.
Then come my church.
Yes, right? Because they're all the family,
They all the family.
but they have to have an order. It has to fall in place.
Yes, ma'am. So it's easier. I don't try to find the balance in it because I can't balance out my marriage.
Right.
That's my life. Can't balance my purpose. That's my life.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't balance it anymore. I put everything in its rightful place.
Yes, I love that perspective. We have things in the wrong order. Our priorities are not in place, and that's why we're off balance.
It's true.
Find that balance by going ahead and putting them together.
Yes.
Make it clear.
Yes,
I was just looking at a video on Instagram the other day, and he was talking about if you could have terms and conditions, should you have terms and conditions in your relationship? And I think kind of what you just mentioned is that the priorities have to be laid out. As a woman, as a man, you have to know what your terms and your conditions are before you can even be equally yoked or even know if someone can be yoked with you, because those terms and conditions, either they align or they don't.
One or the other.
And you know, for us, we don't really read terms and conditions. We just check the box and say,
Exactly.
let's go, right? I think that's the same way in these relationships too, right?
True.
And in our life and the reason why things are off balance. But like she said, everything has its rightful place.
It's rightful.
So we got to get things in order.
Yes, ma'am.
Community conversations where we keep it all the way real right here on Soul 101.5, 1230 The Buzz, your talk station, 101.1 The Wiz and 100.3. Of course, my queen is here, Miss Michelle Henderson, and we're talking about the Know Your Worth conference that's coming up in November. Tell them the dates again.
November the 8th, 9th, and 10th.
And where can they go if they want tickets, do the cost? How do they get to be a part?
The brunch is $20. Everything else is free. You're open to come. You can go on our Facebook page, Know Your Worth. There's a lot of Know Your Worth Facebook pages, but ours have the burgundy lotus flower. That's our logo. You can go there. You can email us at knowyourworth1977@gmail.com. Those are 2 ways that you can find us.
Yes, please make sure you connect. Know Your Worth on Facebook always has great content. You need to be motivated throughout your week. You can definitely get that. Now, I got to ask you this before we go because we got about a couple more minutes left. And people always say, know your worth. Okay. You got to know your worth. My question is, how can one find their worth?
First way you can find your worth is ask yourself, what am I worth? What am I worth? People put a dollar amount on it.
How you can put a price on it?
You can't. That's one. And so then look at your situations. What have you been bought? How have you been bought?
Yeah, how have you been
A
bought?
lot of us are being bought.
Yep.
By different things, and we don't even know
and we
that
don't
we're
even
being
know
bought.
it.
2, finding your worth is connected directly to your purpose. Why am I here? What would I do for free every single day?
Yes.
And I don't have to worry about a cost because one thing about money is your gift to make room for that. That'll come. But what would I do? What do I love to do? And I would do it for free. One thing you would love, if you would love to do it and you would do it for free, that's more than likely that's your purpose. Now, knowing your worth in your purpose is not dumbing down
right
to anything. Keeping that standard high.
Setting it
and not moving from it, even from yourself. And so finding your worth, finding your purpose, find out who you are, what you love to do, and you'll do it for free, and then make those standards. Keep those standards high to where you don't even fall to it. But don't put it so high that you can't live.
Right. Got to be able to live.
You have to be able to live. And then what's some things you've been through in your life and you survived them that you can talk to another woman or another man, whoever about, and they can survive too. And it brings joy. My purpose, knowing my worth, that brings joy to my life.
Yeah.
And just finding her. Find you.
That's the answer. Finding you. But I think the thing is we spend so much time with other people. We're so wrapped in social media. We're so disengaged with who we are. We don't engage with us enough.
No.
We're always engaging everywhere else, but we're not sitting alone enough to even know what we want, what we feel. We have to be alone. Self-care is very important. So that way we can pour into other people.
Yes.
So the Know Your Worth conference is going down. Finding your place and purpose as a woman. Has it been a long journey or have you ever felt lonely in the journey?
Definitely felt lonely in the journey, but I didn't have to. I did that within myself, isolating myself. But then there's times that you do have to be by yourself. But you got to know when is the time,
right?
When you cannot be by yourself.
Well, if I feel broken and I feel hurt or I'm frustrated, is that not a good time to be by myself?
That is not a good time to be by yourself. Any broken glass can't fix itself.
So I need to go find like-minded people.
You need to find positive, get all that toxic, those toxic people out of your circle. A lot of us don't even know that we're dealing with toxic people. We don't even know we're toxic ourselves. We're so focused looking at everybody else that's toxic, but we are toxic too. So dealing with those toxins within yourself, getting around someone that you can trust. I'm tired of the slogan, I can't trust nobody. Yes, you can. God don't leave us without somebody.
Right.
So there's somebody that you can trust and you can be vulnerable with. You can be you with, where they can help and pour back into you, because what we do as women, we pour into everybody else.
Yep.
But we don't allow nobody to pour into us. Be poured into. And like I always tell people, get that natural counseling. Get some help.
Yes.
Get some help.
We don't never want to, but you gonna be in my business. You gonna be judging me. I ain't know that. But we need it.
We do. And everybody ain't judging you. They really loving you, to tell you the truth.
You hear me? That's the love. That's the realness. So the conference is coming up. Tickets are available for the brunch if you want to come. Other than that, everything else is free. She's giving you all of this for free. Tell us again where we can go, how we can connect before we get out of here.
Where you can go and connect is knowyourworth1977@gmail.com. Or you can go to our Facebook page. It's called Know Your Worth, and it has the burgundy lotus flower.
Yes, please go on there. You can get all the details about everything that you can expect for the conference. It's going to be totally amazing. Like, it definitely changed my life. Look, I'm rocking my shirt today because I'm a woman who survived my journey, and that's something that's made me very proud, to not be feeling like I have to be embarrassed about what I've been through. No, I overcome it. And because I overcame and I'm here now, that's the reason why I have the responsibility to share. And so I'm so blessed for the opportunity to just be a part, to know you. But now I'm blessed because I was able to bring you here, and you can bless someone else. So I hope that my kings and queens is listening. No, you can come to the Know Your Worth conference. It's going to be totally amazing. There's so many other resources, but make sure you connect on Facebook so you can stay up to date on all the great things that they're doing. Thank you again, Miss Michelle, for coming out. I appreciate you.
Thank you so much for having me. This woman is the host that does the most.
You know it. This is Community Conversations on Soul 101.5, 1230 The Buzz, your talk station, 101.1 The Wiz, and 100.3. I will be back next week. Thank you so much for tuning in.